Well, I stand next to mountain, chop it down with the edge of my hand. Think about voodoo child. Well, I'm a voodoo child. What's up, everybody? It's Loud and Out Loud with Joey G. What's going on this pre-evening Saturday night early? 7:05. Makes it not go out to like 11 o'clock at night when I used to party. What do you call it? What's going on? You see my title, Seen Enough, and it's about everybody's favorite guy. It was really about everybody's favorite guy earlier today, in my earlier show, The Rock. But tonight, it's about Seen Enough, because I've seen enough of John Cena. You know what I mean? Now, this is getting into wrestling, do a little bit of sports and a couple other things I want to talk about. I'm not going to be long, but since 2002, well, not 2003, when he became Thugonomics, he actually became relevant in, I would say, by around 2003, when he was feuding with Brock Lesnar, like right after WrestleMania 19. When he got on the stage at WrestleMania 19, because if you remember correctly, see how everybody's remember he's good in wrestling, okay? If you remember, he was supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania 19. Rumor had it, the main event of WrestleMania 19 in Seattle, Washington, Scaffold Field. The rumor had it that the main event was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle versus John Cena. Kurt Angle, I got the middle finger up, with Kurt Angle as the WWE champion, Brock Lesnar and John Cena. John Cena getting a shot because that year at No Way Out, Brock Lesnar, would have put up his #1 contendership at main event shot at WrestleMania, and they were going to have Cena beat him. And Cena was going to be in the main event at WrestleMania 19. So just think, we would have had Cena enough. He would have been shoved down our throats then. I mean, he didn't start really getting shoved down our throats till he got to Raw. If he would have stayed on SmackDown, I really think he still would have had a Hall of Fame career. But I don't think you would hear, I think you would still hear Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks chants, because let's face it, a lot of us growing up. I mean, I'm 37. I mean, he bursted onto the scene like I was, 24? 25? I was about 20, 10 years ago, 2004. So he burst, about 2004 is when he really started to get popular. So 10 years ago, when I was around 27, that's when he really started to get popular. And it's so weird, because 2004, like I said, 2002, 2000. Even 99, even the year I graduated high school seems like it was friggin' like a blink ago. You know what I mean? It's just, I remember when Cena came out and Kurt Angle gave them open challenges. Remember back then? I mean, that's when SmackDown was better than Raw. I don't care what anybody says. SmackDown was the better brand. It was good. You had Kurt Angle, you had Brock Lesnar, you had The Undertaker, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Chris Benoit, you had the FBI, you know what I mean? Chuck Palumbo, Little Guido's my boy. I mean, I always at the indie shows with him. I smoked weed with him. You know what I mean? He's a cool-ass dude, cool-ass cat. It just was a good, I think that was a good, it wasn't a real memorable faction, the FBI. I mean, I think the FBI and ECW was better with Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich, one of the greatest of all time. One of the funniest of all time, too. Tommy Rich, this is the way the guy, the whole Wildfire Tommy Rich. I'm going to do a show on him one day. A lot of you younger fans probably don't remember Wildfire Tommy Rich, but one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But it's about Cena. I mean, he's just been, since that night he came out, I never thought then, at that time, when he came out with them tight span, he would used to wear, whatever city they were in, he would wear the whatever color of whatever good team they had. You know what I mean? Like in Chicago, when he debuted against Kurt Angle, he had the red colors on, like he had the red, and then he had the white on the side, like representing the Bulls, because it was in Chicago, the All-State Arena. The All-State Arena, which I still think should hold another WrestleMania, because I just think that arena is great. I mean, it's just as big as the Garden. It is. I think that's the WWE does more shows there anymore than they do at Madison Square Garden. But then Cena came on, I was like, and I used to say, he's got the look. He does. I mean, he's built. He had the look that chicks love, like me. You know what I mean? But, I ain't built like him, I'm kind of, 37 years old, you know what I mean? So I'm built like John. I don't work out every day. So, but, he just had that look. And he was, he's my age. His birthday's April 23rd. And I'm a wrestling fan. That's how I know all this. You know what I mean? He's April 23rd, 1977. I'm April 14th, 1977. So he's going to be 38. You know, I'm going to be 38 in April this year, 2015, coming up. Happy Thanksgiving to all. And then when he came out with a rap gimmick, I liked him. I mean, even when he was a heel, I was in the House of Corrections, 2003. We were watching SmackDown, and that's when SmackDown was on UPN. You couldn't see Raw. Remember I told you in shows before, we used to watch the Raw Rebound every Saturday at 2 o'clock on Channel 48, from 2 to 3. Sometimes we'd be locked down, but my cell would be right there by the TV. And Lucas, the guard Lucas, if you're watching the show, what's up, Lucas? It's Ghana. What do you call it? Now, you always have him turn the TV because, you know, I love wrestling. You know what I mean? And Marcelli, I don't want to put nobody's name out there. So Marcelli, people might know him. He really was into wrestling. He would be like, you and your wrestling, Ghana, because, you know, I'm Joey G. Or he'd be like, Joey G, because people call me Joey G. You and your wrestling, Joey G. You and your wrestling. And I'd be like, dang. I remember perfect example, when Kane took his mask off, I was watching it from inside the cell. You know, we were locked down that day, but I was watching that. Because I remember the guard, Lucas, was like, oh, shit, he's going to take the mask off. And Evolution was in the ring, and they rolled on him. But we always got to watch SmackDown, and I remember telling people now, telling them, this kid's the future. Cena will be coming down to the ring, the word life. This is basic thugonomics, word life. I'm untouchable. And I would tell everybody, this is the future. That kid's the future. I'm telling you, he's getting booed out of the arena. He's a vanilla ice. I'm like, look at him. Look at him. He's everything Vince McMahon wants. He's got the muscle. He's got the look. And now he's attracting people that were our age. Even I respect Cena. I like Cena. I do. Yeah, I did like when Brock Lesnar beat the living shit out of him. I mean, I haven't. You haven't seen it? Look, it's on one of my shows. I got so many shows on here. But what do you call it? It has live reaction when Brock Lesnar beat him at SummerSlam. I mean, I went absolutely nuts. Like I said, I was on the radio. What's up to John and Sean? Did a good show today earlier. You guys want to check it out? This big win about the Eagles, but I get off topic a lot. I'm sorry, you fans, but with Cena, it was cool. And when he was on SmackDown, it was cool, and then he turned face, and I liked him. I was like, yo, this dude's the man. And then when the Royal Rumble was here in 2004, and Chris Benoit won it, oh my God, I said Chris Benoit. I might be off the air because I said, you know, WWE like erased him from history. Like, how do you erase the main event of WrestleMania 20? Because he won the world title. It was him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels in the main event at Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 20. He made Triple H tap in the crossface. Yeah, I was about to say sharpshooter. What do you call it? In the crossface. So what are you gonna erase WrestleMania 20? Because I mean, Chris Benoit is a murderer. I mean, he murdered his kid and his wife. I have no sympathy for the dude, and he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. So fuck Chris Benoit. No, for real. Okay, enough of him. But he was one of the ones that was against Cena. Remember when Cena got big from joining Team Angle. I remember somebody said that on the internet. That's how John Cena got big. He joined Team Angle to face Team Lesnar at Survivor Series 2003, which was, oh my gosh, 11 years ago. I can't believe that. I mean, 11 years ago. And Randy Orton was the sole survivor. That was a night Randy Orton RKO'd Mark Cuban, and Eric Bischoff was distracting Mark Cuban, and Randy Orton ran down the ring, bang, 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 and RKO'd him. I loved it. But like Cena was cool on SmackDown. He was like, I liked him. But like when he was fighting JBL, I was all for Cena, and I liked JBL. JBL used to be a funny dude to me. Like a funny redneck dude to me. A funny conservative, Republican, rich prick, but just funny as shit. Them kind of guys crack me up. I'm sorry. And, like, I liked him. I liked JBL. I mean, he had a nice little chick with him. Remember the chick, not Jillian, the chick Amy Weber in the cabinet. They were funny. Orlando Jordan's corny. He's a flake. But the other two, the Bashrooms, they weren't that bad, you know, and Amy Weber. I mean, I remember her. And JBL was a funny dude, and he could brawl. He was a good chick. 258 days. I mean, besides for CM Punk and Diesel, that's the third longest reigning champion since Hulk Hogan's era. I don't know, for real. Because Austin, the longest Austin ever held it was 208 days. I think that's the longest Austin ever held the belt. It was like 208 days. That was his longest title reign. It was like 208 days. So, you know what I mean? I mean, I give John Cena that. He held that John 381 days. He held it over a year. And remember, he never lost it. but he just got shoved down our throat. When he got to Raw, yeah, all the crowd went crazy, but I think if they would have kept Batista on Raw and Cena on SmackDown, things would have worked out fine for both of them. I think things would have worked out definitely a lot better for Batista. Not saying that SmackDown wasn't a bad show, because when he went to SmackDown, people really didn't care that Cena left. They were mad when Cena left, and they thought that Cena and Batista were both on Raw, and they were left with nobody. And then when Batista, got the Teddy, remember JBL won that Battle Royal, and Teddy Long came out with it was called the SmackDown Championship. They said, we can't call it the World title, we can't call it the WWE title, we'll just call it the SmackDown Championship. And I just knew that Batista, I knew. I remember hearing on the internet that Batista was going to SmackDown. I knew. You just knew it. The WWE title wasn't on Raw for so long. Batista was big, but Cena was more popular. He was wearing the chains, he was rapping then. But when he stopped rapping, that's when WWE went PG, Cena went PG. My question is, who's the next big star? Because Dean Ambrose is great, and I like Dean Ambrose. And you know from all my shows, but have you seen, I've not talked about Dean as much, because something about Dean that he's lacking. If this was the Attitude Era, you could do a lot more with Dean. Now, really, I'm going to say this, I think that'll help Dean's character. I think he should join Bray Wyatt. I really do. I think that'll help his character. Let him join Bray now. Because then you could set up alright, you're going to have him fight at TLC. After TLC, you have him, and maybe you stick them together to next year's WrestleMania. To 2016, to WrestleMania 32. You have him with Bray Wyatt for like a year, like Raven and his flock. You know what I mean? Raven's awesome. Scotty, I forget his real name, but Scott, you're the man. You know what I mean? I know Scott's his first name. Raven, he's one of my favorite of all time. One of the most underrated. He had so many gimmicks. Johnny Polo, Scotty Flamingo, before he became, quote, the Raven, nevermore. But just seen enough, man. Is it Ryback? I like Ryback. But then again, now I'm thinking, a week ago I was all hyped up on him. Feed me more. And the crowd, the way he does that. And he gets the crowd going. He could be that guy. Then Roman Reigns cut that great promo during the pay-per-view last week, during Survivor Series. Let it rain. That should be his main saying. Let it rain. It's going to rain up in this bitch. Right, Osborne? It's going to rain up in this bitch. That should be his saying. Not believe in that. Believe in that. Believe in that. Sound like the big red retard, or the big concession retard now. That's what he is. The big concession stand retard. Kane, Glenn Jacobs, DDS. What do you call him? But just imagine, you know what I mean? I love Dean Ambrose, but I think if Punk comes back, he's 36, that's young. John Cena, he just got a lot of injuries. 30, I'm 37. I still feel like I'm in my 20s, in my teens. So, you know what I mean? It's just I've seen enough. We need a big star. I thought Dean Ambrose was going to be it. I still think he's going to be it. I still think he needs time to develop, though. Ryback, Roman Reigns, if they're going to be, I hope Roman Reigns could turn it up a lot like his cousin The Rock. Also, that rumor I was saying earlier, Rock Cena 3, this is just a rumor. The Rock to enter the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble. Cena beats Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble, which I will be at, our Royal Rumble as I call it, here in Philadelphia, right down the street on 95. Cena beats Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, wins the title. The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, reverse of the 2013 Royal Rumble, which Cena won the Royal Rumble and The Rock won the WWE title. This time, in 2015, just a rumor, Cena wins the WWE World title, The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, setting up Rock Cena 3 at WrestleMania 31. Just a rumor. And the rubber match, and they most likely will have The Rock win the WWE World title because they said The Rock's filming a movie, but he is free till the summer. And he wouldn't be like a part-time champion like Brock Lesnar. He'd be there a lot more than Brock Lesnar. That pisses me off. I saw someone on the internet, and Brock Lesnar sitting at home drinking, I guess, a cup of cocoa with Sable like this and the world title around his thing. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. When Survivor Series used to be annually on Thanksgiving. Disgusting, Brock. But I still want to see you beat Cena's ass. I'd rather see Brock and Cena, or Brock and The Rock instead of Cena and The Rock again. But I do want to see Cena and The Rock 3, but I'd rather see The Rock and Brock again. This is Joey G. I'm out. Wet T-shirt contest coming soon. Peace.